Tune into this week's episode of JenB TV, where we show you the benefits of suburban composting and how to do it in under 10 minutes a week. Welcome to today's show. I'm Jen Bolden with JenB TV, where we provide fresh thinking on green living. We do the research for you, test it out in our own lives, and then bring you just the best of the best ideas in 5 minutes or less. It's now time to tune in and be turned on to a whole new way to think about composting. Here's why today's topic matters. Landfills stink, both literally and figuratively. You know, we're running out of space in the landfill, plus it makes no sense for things that could have biodegraded to go there. Number 2, save some moolah. You're gonna get some free super-powered fertilizer and save some money in your water bill. Number 3, Prettier Plants. Your garden is gonna look great. Composting isn't just for Farmer John anymore. Believe it or not, it is catching on like wildfire, especially in suburban areas. And here's why. We really do need to lessen the load on our landfills, because what's crazy is 30% of what's going to the garbage could have been composted. It's organic material like food scraps and garden waste. But instead, it goes to the landfill, where it has to decompose anaerobically without oxygen. And that means that it's going to release methane gas, which is 25 times more harmful than CO2. In other words, not good at all for global warming. Yeah. What about me, you say? Well, the fact is, if you like pretty plants, if you like to avoid chemicals in the garden, and you like to save a little bit of money, you know this is about you. You see, plants grown in compost-rich soil are both stronger at the root system and they're more naturally resistant to disease. As my master gardener friend Mike Brown says, "You must feed the soil, not the plant." Actually, Mike doesn't talk that way, but it's a really good point. You need to actually get into the soil to make the plant grow stronger, as opposed to just giving it that fake boost with chemicals, which is really just polluting and a big waste of money. Also, you're gonna use less water when you compost, because now the soil can retain more moisture, meaning it's gonna evaporate less. So let's dig into the best composting option for you. We chose this recycled plastic composter because it was relatively inexpensive, and we figured we were gonna make our money back in about 2 years with all the savings from the potting soil, the fertilizers, and the water. We love this spinning barrel design. It's really important that you do turn the compost a lot, because it's gonna help the compost process faster, and it's important that you can do it even if you're not super muscled. This one's easy. Another thing that's great about it, when you need it in certain places in the garden, all you do is just roll it to where you need to go. Greens include grass cuttings, food scraps, like these banana peels, and coffee grounds, even tea. Oh, and my personal favorite, chicken poop. Browns include dry materials like wood chips, dried leaves, straw, and even some non-bleached paper items. Leaves are the best brown material you can use, by the way, and the more shredded, the better. Now, place the browns and the greens in your compost heap or bin. Equal amounts of both are good, but the more brown you can have, the more downtown you can go. Lastly, soak it well with water and create a uniform dampness. You want the moisture to be like a wrung-out sponge. Then just tumble or turn, depending on what kind of composter you have. Now, if you have a lot of yard space and you have a lot of yard waste, then you can build one of these for free. All it is shipping pallets that we have upcycled into a compost bin. And all you do is put your yard waste, like leaves, crumpled leaves, and layer it with some grass clippings and add moisture.
Did you say you needed moisture, Jen Bolden?
Turns out he's not wrong. Did you know that peeing in the compost will help it break down faster, and it's gonna give you better soil to boot? And now, ladies and gentlemen, a few questions from our Facebook fans. How long does it take to produce compost? Well, it really depends. It can be 1 month to 2 years, depending on the type of composter you have, the moisture level, the ratio of brown to greens, what you put in it, and how hot it is where you live. How do you know what your compost needs? Well, that's easy peasy. Just refer to this handy-dandy troubleshooting chart. You got odors? Add some brown materials. Too dry? Add water and greens. Fruit flies? Stir in leaves or grass. How do you know when the compost is done? Simple. It looks like this, which is rich, fluffy, dark brown soil. Number 1, compost your kitchen scraps. Even city dwellers can do this inside with a worm hut. Number 2, compost your yard waste. This can be done for free with a shipping pallet bin. Number 3, use compost instead of harsh chemical pesticides and synthetic fertilizers. So you're sold on the virtues of composting, but how do you get it to take root in your family? Let me tell you, kids love composting. They think it's like a science project. So you can usually wrangle them into emptying out your kitchen pail that's gonna sit under the sink in exchange to just check on the progress and spin that bin. And remember, consumer choice is driving change. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty and to use our brains to do what is right. Plus, we concerned citizens are gaining power in numbers. It's easy to do. Just use this handy little button. Thanks for caring, thanks for sharing, and we'll see you next week. Composting isn't just... We love this spin the barrel design. It's really easy to turn your compost, which is important. It's gonna help it churn faster. Churn, that's butter.